The next day started with a trip to the mall, specifically to go to the game center. Here's some games, here's some crane games. There's a bunch of gacha there. The other day, my host slash guide saw me stop and get a gacha, so he was like, "Oh, you love gacha? Let's go get some gacha." So he drove me around seeing different gacha machines. Here's where the problems happen. Here's where I spent probably too much money in the game center. Look at this. It's Bochi plushes, it's PA-san and the bass player senpai. These were actually really tough to win, so I stopped trying. Here's a Boba Fett that looked deceptively easy to win, but also didn't try it. A Nagi from the Nagi movie figure. Here's an Eye figure from Oshi no Ko. This Umbreon. This game's pretty cool because you gotta knock that pink thing off the post, which is a bit difficult. Here I go. I got it on the first one, I got it to move a lot, and then the rest of it was me just trying to move it a little, but I did end up getting that Umbreon. Hello, Umbreon. There were more Pokemon there. Here's an Azumarill. This one's a bit trickier because grabbing it isn't the tough part. Like, I grab it pretty constantly, but it's heavy, so it falls out of the claws. And Thwomp. I had to go to the coin exchanger, which lets you change up to like 50,000 yen bills, and went back, and this time was worse than the last. I did not get the Azumarill. Instead, I moved on to this plushy kind of burr face Larvitar. I went to it because it has a couple grippies on some of the claws, which usually make it easier to win. But one claw didn't have a grippy, it made it so it almost always fell out. You get it into a good position. I was just trying to work it over to knock it into the hole. But here on my last coin, it grabbed the string of the tag and went over. Grabbed just by the lip of the rubber stopper on the claw. What a victory for me! I just love this derby face. I love this Larvitar so much. I'm so happy I got it. But the top of its head stuck out my bag, so it was kind of just pointed out the rest of the day. Moving on, we went to get lunch at this ramen restaurant, but they did a lot of other things. There was actually a big line, so we spent a lot of time waiting outside. Here's a cool sign. There's also these Japanese rice fish in these little boxes. Also, while we were waiting outside, there was a small earthquake. I had a bit of natural disaster anxiety yesterday, seeing the Fukushima stuff and Taiwan disaster. But anyway, here's lunch. I forget what it's called. It was just the most popular thing on the table, and it was quite good. Next, my guide slash host said, "Let's go get dessert. How long do you want to go? An hour or an hour and a half?" So we went proper into the countryside. It was actually really cool seeing the countryside, really thinning out and driving through these very rural areas to get to this bakery where they had ice cream bread. The ice cream was really good. The bread kind of made it slightly tough to eat, but the trip out to the countryside was actually pretty fun for me. Also, you got this nice calming view. Felt very rural anime-y. And if you look over here, there were some cherry blossoms in bloom in the mountains. On the way back, we stopped at a fish market. I actually thought there was a really neat fish market. They had these signs up on the wall. They had different pictures from around town. And if you pan over, you see just a bunch of different fish on the wall. They had some other things too, like this Hello Kitty. I think there's jam in there, some sort of food. We also stopped at the shrine that was rebuilt after the disaster and drove down along the coast, so I got to see, good shots of the Pacific Ocean. But what we're really here for are shots of, that's right, power plants. This is the Shinchi Thermal Power Plant. It's a coal-fired power plant. That power stack apparently can be seen as far away as Sendai. I'm going to Sendai tomorrow to fly out of, and it's a 2-hour plus train ride. So it's a pretty big power station. It's not the only kind of power station we have. We also have these solar panels. This is a 60 megawatt solar field built after the disaster. They have a lot of energy infrastructure still around, so it's good to put power plants there. We also have wind here, and what's that in the background? Why, yes, it's another coal-fired power plant. This is the Haramachi coal-fired power station. This one's within Minami-Soma, the town where I'm staying at. And now let's bring them all together. That's a solar farm in front of a windmill right next to the coal-fired power station. All the power all in a row. This is the ride home. I just like this long stretch of road leading into the mountains. Also, when I went to the convenience store, they had this bochi display for these bochi cup noodles. That's pretty cool. And that is the trip to Fukushima. And if you're wondering, yes, I did 100% get one of those bochi cup noodles. Am I gonna have to eat it? Like, I don't mind eating it. I want to save it, but if this gets home, this will have made 6 plane trips. So hopefully it doesn't get crushed or popped or whatever. Um, but yeah, I really loved Fukushima. I loved Minamisoma. Minamisoma was like the town out of a small town anime, which was great. Seeing all the stuff around Fukushima was surreal and existential and like dread inducing at points. The sheer number of like the fact that it felt very busy but also felt very empty. Like I haven't really seen that other places or felt that other places. For people who don't know me or know me that well, my research goes into perceptions of nuclear. So I read about Fukushima a lot. I talk about Fukushima a lot. Being there and experience it and being among people who are like experiencing these emotions, like the guy who's hosting me, who drove me around to everywhere, got very emotional, especially talking about the tsunami and the impact of everything. So it was an experience. It was a weird, not bad. It was an emotional experience for me seeing all the Fukushima stuff. But the rest of the trip was also really fun. Um, I love this Larvitar and his little dumb face so much. I'm so happy that I got him. I pumped a lot of money, probably like 20. It was 2,000 yen into the Azumarill, and didn't get it. This one I got, I think, on 10, but it was very lucky. That was dead serious going to be my last coin, and the fact that I got him on the last coin is great. I loved the Chansey Park so much. I think if I come back to Japan, I might make it like I think I'd come back to the Fukushima area anyway, but I'm always going to make a trip to that Chansey Park because I love it, and I wish I got to do like I wish I got more footage of it and more close-ups and whatnot, but it was starting to rain, so I was like, I've got to get out. Um, but yeah, loved Fukushima. I think the next video is going to be kind of similar to this one. This one got delayed a bunch because I was just working a ton on my lecture and that it wouldn't upload right and it wouldn't export right. So there's a lot of stress this morning. Like this is the latest morning I've gotten out across all of my days because I was just stressing over getting this lecture done. But it's done, it's up. But I leave, my conference is Saturday. It's probably going to be a comprehensive Kyoto video in a few days that hopefully you enjoy. And thanks for watching this one. Bye, everybody.